Hey guys, Aqua Duelist here. If any of you guys remember back when I first made this channel, one of my first videos was a video talking about Mudragon Swamp. And considering he's been out for a while, I want to revisit him and talk about why Mudragon Swamp hasn't seen a lot of competitive play. Well, this card is really good and honestly one of the best generic cards we've ever gotten, and honestly is, I would say, my favorite card at this point. Just he's so generic and good. Why has he not seen any competitive play? And today I'm going to basically talk about that and essentially tell you guys what can you really do with him. As there's quite a bit of things. Before I do that, though, I would like to say if you guys would like to join my Discord server, I do have a link in the description of that below. And if you guys would like to donate to the channel, link in the description below that too. So without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and jump into this. Starting off, Mudragon Swamp. He is a level 4 water warmth fusion effect monster. His requirements to be fusioned reads, or to be summoned, like for fusion, reads 2 monsters with the same attribute but different types. And his effect reads, your opponent cannot target this card or monsters on the field with the same attribute as this card. With card effects. Once per turn, quick effect, you can declare one attribute. This card becomes that attribute until the end of the turn. 1900 attack and 1600 defense. All in all, a really just good generic card. And again, I feel like probably the best generic card we've gotten in Yu-Gi-Oh! For quite some time. Now, as far as competitive play goes, he has seen some competitive play while he's been out. Actually, he showed up in a few, from what I can find, off of TCG Player and such, and online. He has showed up in a couple tops at a regional and a few YCSs, but he's not really seeing much play though. And the reason why is simply why I think is because of his fusion requirements and the current the formats we've been having. Again, looking at the text, it says 2 monsters with the same attribute but different types. Thinking about what's been played these last couple formats, we've had Thunder Dragons, Sky Strikers, Trick Stars, Altergeists. I think Paleos have still seen some play, but basically what I'm getting at is there's no real way to summon him. Even with the main card that people use to bring him out is Super Polymerization. Your opponent's thinking about those particular decks. Most of them run the same attribute, or they run like Altergeist, I believe, are like different attributes, but they're the same type. Essentially, it's just been the meta decks more so over. You can't really Super Polymerization this guy onto their field, which does suck. But there is also another way to get him out, and that's with Instant Fusion. Now, from what I've seen in the deck lists, people aren't running the Instant Fusion. It's mainly Super Polymerization and Mudragon the Swamp. So yeah. But he is honestly probably the best Instant Fusion target. If not the first one, I would say definitely a second. The only thing I would say could be better is Thousand Eye Restrict, but I do like him more as Mudragon Swamp, as he has much more utility. Plus, the thing is with Super Polymerization, if you're able to get it off to summon Mudragon, that is a unstoppable semi-board clear. Basically, you're clearing two monsters of your opponent's board to summon this, which can do quite a number of things. For one, he does offer some protection for bigger plays, and actually, he stops infinite impermanence, which is really funny. it's like a $100 card stopped by this like 20-cent card. And he also can stop Effect Veiler and basic common hand traps, essentially. Some of them. Some of the basic common hand traps. Basically what I'm trying to get at. So he does offer some protection against those. On top of that, too, he is a level 4, so you can essentially XYZ with him if you need to for rank 4s. He can change his attributes, so you have this really interesting, basically really interesting link plays you could do with him. Basically be whatever attribute you need for your attribute-specific links. On top of that, too, one of my favorite play to do with Mudragon Swamp, because I do run this in Aqua Turbo, and I do have a few Earth monsters in the main deck, so I decided to run Glow Up Bulb. One of my favorite things to do is actually to play Instant Infusion, summon the Mudragon, call out Earth, special my Glow Up Bulb, and then Synchro for the Cherry Beast. No one ever sees that coming, actually, and it's really funny. I'm not saying that's the best play ever, but it is an option I do want to throw out there, as I've had people essentially just kind of surrender at that point, and I actually did have one person I dueled against when I first started using this card. He actually did quit the game, which was really funny. Like, he quit playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So that is pretty hilarious to think, but he does have quite a big utility, and that is something I wanted to recognize. So that's why I think he's not really seeing much play right now. I feel like he is very format dependent, and in the future he could definitely become really, really good depending on the format. Well, he's already good, but he could become better depending on the format and meta relevant. That's what I meant to say. But I would suggest pick these up if you don't have them. Pick them up now. You can roughly get this card off a TCG Player for around 20, should be around 20-25 cents. So yeah. That's my thoughts. I would love to hear y'all's thoughts on Mudragon Swamp, on why you guys think he hasn't seen any competitive play, or if you guys feel he's also format dependent to be played competitive, like in the meta competitively and such. I would like to know that. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button. You want to see more of my content? Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that notification button too, so you get notified when my videos come out. I do 4 to 5 videos a week. Thank you guys for watching.